So now, jump ahead. Company's booming. Then you sell it.
Yeah.
What is that like? For big bucks, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect it. I wasn't thinking about it. You know, there was always in the back of your head that someone might buy you, and I happened to be at Cavicchio's at the nursery, and Darren Young approached me, and he said, "Man, you know, the trucks are in and out all the time. Aren't you sick of the headaches?" And I said, "Who's going to buy us now?" We had gotten to that threshold where, you know, we were, you know, you're too big to be bought up by a little guy. Yeah. So he says, "I know a few people looking around." I said, "Well, see what you come up with." And the next thing you know, a company called Valley Crest that was based in California approached me, and a wonderful guy by the name of Bert Sperber called me.
I thought his name was Ron Sperber. Shoot.
No, Bert. Yeah, Bert was the father, and real dynamic guy. And I said, "Well, look at, you know, after this was heading toward Thanksgiving, and I said, why don't you give me a call after the first of the year? You know, the snow, we're busy right now getting ready." And he goes, "Okay." And
how big is their company?
Their company was huge. They had just merged with Michael Dell, and
Like,
you know,
Dell Computers?
Dell Computers, yeah. They were about a at that time about $1 billion company, landscape company. And
so they're like the biggest in the country.
They were one of the biggest. That and Brickman was another good-sized firm, which has now merged to be Brightview, which is...
And you're the biggest in Massachusetts at this time?
Pretty, well, we were right up there. You know, there wasn't a lot bigger than we were. You know, I told him to call me at the first of the year. That was on a Monday. And he called me on Thursday and said he was in town. He wanted to meet me. That was, you know, 4 days later. The guy was really dynamic. And so we went out
He was ready to go.
Yeah, he was just like, "No, we're doing this right now." And I'm like, "Wait a minute."
You want a guy like that to buy a company, though,
Yeah.
what you built, right?
Yeah, he was a great guy. He was about 78 years old when I met him, and he had a whole team behind him, real professional outfit. And you know, we started negotiating, and before you know it, in January we had, you know, letters of intent, and we closed on June 1st, 2010.
Were you sentimental at all towards the company, or were you just like, no, this is what happens?
No, I mean, I was more sentimental to the employees. Loved the employees. The employees were great. You know, I really loved working with everybody. We had a really great team, and we had a lot of fun.
How much, if you don't mind me asking, how much did they initially offer you for it?
I can't talk about those.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So it took you about 6 months to land on something you felt comfortable with?
No, it took 6 months I wanted to make sure that all my employees were safe, and I wanted to make sure all my customers were going to be safe. Customers, I mean, I still have friends that are customers from 25 years ago, you know, so I needed assurances that we were going to do the right thing. And, you know, we flew out to Calabasas a few times to see their operation and met with a lot of people. So once I felt comfortable, then we
a lot different than Waverly Square out in
yeah,
Calabasas.
Yeah, a little different. Warmer.
Yeah. I'm going out to LA on Thursday for the first time ever.
It's on fire.
Is it great?
Yeah, it's good luck. Have fun.
So you sell it, and then you're like, what do I do with myself now?
Well, that was it. I didn't know what to do. I had no plan. And they asked me to stay on, and I stayed on for a couple of years. And
managerial type role? Or?
Yeah, well, I became a vice president, so I took a demotion. And then I had to learn how to work in corporate America. So that, was kind of like college, right?
Yeah.
It just didn't work. So I hung on for 3 years, and I transitioned out, but I did it, so no one got hurt. Everybody was safe, and that was it. And then I wandered around and started to, rebuild my apartments and things that had, kind of been neglected while I was building the company. And I spent 2 years, fixing up my apartments, and